When I first started my business, the idea of running a business absolutely terrified me. I was scared as hell. I remember one of my friends messaged me like a voice note, basically telling me off, like criticizing me, saying that I had a like a poverty kind of mindset, and I was not thinking the right way about making money, and that I was just being a bitch basically, because like I just told him I was scared, and that I was scared of starting a business. I was scared of being responsible. I think I was scared of actually having to make decisions, scared of the responsibility of having to have bills, having to get clients, having to get customers, doing the accounting. I was really scared of the accounting, even though I don't even do accounting. Like, and I never do any accounting really. Yeah, I was so terrified. And I remember I was going for a run, and like I was playing his voice message in my headphones, and like listening to him, you know, criticize me, and I decided, like, you're right, he's right. And I sent him a voice message saying, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna start a business. And I was crying. I was literally crying. It was like a peak experience, you know. I was crying and like feeling this intense, I don't know, almost like joy that I was going to overcome my fear, but like feeling the fear but knowing I was going to do it. I mean, this is a bit weird. It feels a bit strange to talk about it, but like that's what it was like. And that first business was like, it's the same business I got now, but like that first iteration of it was so tiny. I wasn't like trying to make a living off of it. I wasn't trying to support my family or anything like that. I was just solving a problem, really. It's my, you know, the kickboxing side of my business. And I was running classes and for someone else, and that gym had to shut down basically because of the lockdowns. And my members really wanted me to keep training, keep coaching them. And so I realized like the only way this was going to work is if I started a business of my own. So, I mean, that's how it kicked off. I started a business. I literally Googled how to start a business. And because I'm here in New Zealand, and I'm sure it's the same in many other countries, there's like an online process to register a business name. I created an LLC, limited liability company. And yeah, I first started my business. And like, that was actually in 2021. And it actually went really well. It started growing almost immediately, and then we had another lockdown which crushed it, wiped it out completely. I lost everything, all my customers, literally everything, but I still had the registered LLC. So then I started up again and moved. I moved out of the city I was living in, out of Auckland, moved out to the countryside, like a lot of people did in 2022, early 2022, and I started up again. And by that time I'd learned quite a lot. I'd learned quite a lot about, you know, a little bit about marketing, a little bit about accounting, and just, you know, when I say learned, people talk about learning to run a business and business experience. So much of it is just shifting your limiting beliefs. It's just shifting how you feel about yourself and what you're doing. It's just getting used to it. Just getting used to the feeling of the process. The feeling of having money coming in each week, checking my bank balance, and knowing mentally what I can spend and how much money I need to get, what I have available to spend, what am I going to spend it on, and just thinking through that and just becoming desensitized to the fear and the anxiety of wondering where's the money going to come from, and you know, what happens if, what do I do if something bad happens, something unexpected or unfortunate happens, you know. Anyway, that's how I started. I kept going. I tried different things to make the business grow in that. Found my own location to operate. And what I did anyway is I was, like I mentioned, I was running in my kickboxing gym. And what I discovered along the way, here's something that's really, really important, is that you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to do things the way that people say on the internet that you have to do it. You don't have to do things the way that other people in your industries tell you to do it. Okay, so I talked to a bunch of other kickboxing coaches, and they all told me, all of them said, okay, what you have to do is you have to make a business plan, then you go to the bank and you get a loan. Take your business plan, you project some numbers saying, you know, I'm going to charge this much, I need to get this many customers, then I'll make this much money, and these are my expenses. I'll get a building, I have to buy gear, equipment, and this is my projected monthly revenue and my expenses, and so I'll make this much profit. You take that to a bank, the bank gives you a big loan, and then you take that money that you got on the loan, you lease a building, buy a whole bunch of equipment, and then you start operating and paying back that loan. That's what everyone else told me to do, and that's not what I did. It's not what I did at all. What I did is I laid out almost nothing. I just hired a hall and started coaching people in a hall with a little bit of equipment that I had, and built it up from there. It wasn't very long. I think it was actually 2 weeks before someone offered me a place to train, and I purchased, using my own money, I purchased some training mats, and then started promoting, and I got a lot more members, paid off the mats, bought some more mats with the money from the business, and just essentially I kept feeding money back into the business. That's what I did. And I was still working, you know, I was still working, but I kept feeding money back into the business until I had enough equipment so that I could have a decent number of members. And then at that point, then I took a big risk and I stopped working, and I just went full time on the business. Kickboxing. And that was good. I mean, that was really amazing, but I was very, very tight, you know. And that's when I started adding in coaching, like doing, you know, mindset coaching, dating coaching, health coaching, and so by having that second stream of income, using the membership from my gym was kind of like my, you know, base. We just sold this beautiful property. Yeah, I'll show you. That's the view from the deck. There's the deck. Basically, using that membership income, I kept myself alive and then focused on building up the coaching side of things. And between my membership base and my sort of health coaching, mindset coaching, I'm now at about 20k a month, and it's great. I'm absolutely loving it. You know, I don't work. I don't have a job. I just do this. I have fun, and it's a beautiful thing. And so that's the basic story. There's a lot of details in there, but I would say the way that I got there is firstly, by learning to examine my thoughts and my beliefs. And the primary tool I use to do that is journaling. There's many others, but the main one is journaling. Morning routine. My morning routine is prayer, journaling, meditation, and exercise before eating. And the journaling is probably the number one thing that I teach my clients. I use journaling to expose and gain what they call metacognition, thinking about your thinking, becoming aware of the way that you think, becoming aware of your automatic thought processes. So that was super important. You've got to become aware of how you think about everything. What do you think is difficult? What do you think is easy? What do you think is possible? And one of the fastest, most simple and powerful ways to become aware of what you think is journaling, writing it out every day. Another really, really important thing is hanging around people who think differently. And if you don't have those people in your life directly, then just using the internet. Like I just watched YouTube videos or listened to YouTube videos all day, and I still do. I've done that for like 10 years. Before YouTube, I was doing that. I had CDs and I would play the CDs in my car, and I would just be constantly having them on repeat, gaining ideas and listening. It's not just about the ideas, it's about people's beliefs and having those, it's like soaking in them, meditating on people's ideas so that your own ideas and your own beliefs shift. That's absolutely key. So the journaling allows you to see what your beliefs are, what your ideas are, and then hanging out with people with higher quality beliefs, spending time listening to them, helps you adjust your beliefs. And then I guess the third thing is having a very clear goal, having a clear idea of where you want to go. So at the moment, at least every 3 months, I write out a vision for where I'm going in the next year. And you have to create a specific, clear goal about what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. Those would be the 3 things that I would push. Becoming aware of your thoughts through journaling, hanging out with people who have done what you want to do and listening to the way they think and what they believe, and then having a clear vision of where you're trying to go and what you're going to do. And that's how I got to 10K a month. Peace.